Okay, so dear students and dear watchers, in this lecture we are going to talk about writing a job application letter. Okay, writing a job application letter. In the previous lecture we were talking about cover letter, but in this lecture we are going to talk about writing a job application letter. Although some jobs only require the applicant to fill in a form, okay, you are just required some time to fill a form for applying for the job. Important position applied for will need a submission of a job application letter, and some important jobs will require you to write a job application letter as well along with the form submission. Fine. Knowing how to write a job application letter is an art that only not all students of business, commerce, banking, and finance need to learn, but anyone who one day hopes to apply for the position they have always dreamed of. Okay, learning the how to write a job application letter, that is not the requirement of the business, commerce, banking, and finance students to learn, but that is required for every single person who wants to apply for any job in the future. An application letter is a business document. Okay, an application letter is a business document, part of the essential correspondence between an applicant and organization. That is the part of correspondence between an applicant and the organization to which he applies. Firm or a company institution are various boards and committees that publish a vacancy. That job application letter is not simply a document. That is a corresponding communication between the applicant and the organization or the institution or any type of place he wants to apply to. It is a paper frequently used in government, commerce, industry, and academia, and it is a type of paper, the job application letter, which is used frequently in the government departments, commerce, industry, and academia. Students planning to correspond in any undertaking require the understanding of the main points of a job application letter. Fine. Writing a correct job application letter is a useful skill for anyone planning to enter an administrative role in any industry or profession. Okay, that is a compulsory and essential and important thing for everyone to learn who wants to enter any job, to learn how to write a job application letter. A successful job application letter addresses all the points stated in a job advertisement. Okay, a successful job application letter addresses all the points stated in a job advertisement. Fine, all the detail while you were reading an advertisement, you mention all those details here. Fine, the manner in which a person responds to a commercial announcement alerts recruits and employers of his or her capacity and his or her education, personality, and professionalism. Fine. Steps for writing a job application letter. If the document is set appropriately, the employer or recruiter concentrate on the content and meaning. Fine. If your arrangement on the sheet of paper seems incorrect, unusual, or non-traditional, the prospective employer will be distracted or dismissive. Fine, he may have a bad heart for you. Understand the format and fill in the content according to that form. These are the steps for writing a job application. Make a list of all the information into the letter. Which information you want to include in the letter, make a list of that. Be brief so that the letter can fit on a single page. Okay, be brief, don't narrate the stories here. Set the text with wide margins. Okay, with wide you have to draw the margin lines. Fine. Position your address, the employer's address, first your address, then the employer address, and the subject of the letter in the correct space. First your address, then the employer address, then the subject of the letter. The subject must be centered at the top. Fine. The subject must be centered at the top. Start the actual text of the letter by stating the reason for the letter. Okay, start the actual text of the letter by stating the reason for the why you are writing the letter. Start from that reason. Put the most important information within 3 paragraphs to ensure the main pointings are clear. Fine, the points are clear. Start the most important information from the start. Okay, when you start writing the letter, you have to put the very important information first. Most job application letters have no letterhead because they come from an individual. Because an individual cannot have a letterhead that for the organization or institution. The message must be placed in the middle. The message must be placed in the middle, underneath the applicant's address on the right, between a greeting and a salutation. Fine. The greeting start dear name. Okay, after dear you have to mention the name of the person to whom you are writing. Okay, always address the employer by their formal name. It is dear Jones first, not dear John. Don't say dear Jones. Okay, you have to give the formal name. Dear Muhammad Ali. Okay, dear Muhammad Akram, like that. Fine. Dear Jones, you have to speak out the complete name right here. Dear that. Okay. The ending note must be formal, such as best regards. Okay. When you finish your letter, you have to say best regards. Thank you for your time and consideration. You have to be formal right here. Type your full name below your legal signature if necessary. You have to type your full name at the end and also do your sign over there. Job application letters are customarily formatted in the block style without indents, with all lines aligned left. Okay, aligning all paragraphs to the left is more legible than full justification. One is block style, one is full block style, and one is semi-block style. Fine. The full block is from the left side. The semi-block is the block is from the left side, the full block is from the right, and one the semi from the center of the page. Okay, these are the three styles for writing a job application. Key points to consider: it is not wise to use slang, technical jargon, abbreviation, contraction, or unexplained acronyms in a job application. Do not use slang. Okay, the informal word, technical jargon, technical vocabulary, and all these technical type abbreviation. Okay, the abbreviation, the contraction, the short form words we have already talked. Unexplained acronyms. Okay, acronyms also a type of abbreviation. Fine, don't use these things in your job application. A job application letter has its own appropriate tone and attitude. Assertive but unassuming, confident but not arrogant or conceited. Fine. It is improper to write overly long sentences full of pretentious or self-satisfying phrase. Do not write such sentences. Fine. Personal subjects such as family news or casual information should be left out. Do not write these things in your job application because these are not required over there. Always state the reason for the application. Always state the reason why you are writing the application. The job in question, okay? Where you found the announcement, where did you read the advertisement, the announcement, and why you think you are the person most suitable to take up the position. What is your speciality? What is so special in you want to take this position? Do's. What are the things you must do while writing a job application letter? Do check all included details, even if they are your own and you are familiar with them. Do check them. Mistakes in addresses, telephone numbers, or email addresses could mean the application letter does not reach its destination on time. Okay, do not commit such mistake while writing your address, telephone numbers, email number, and all the things. If details become confusing to the recruiter or show the sender to be negligent or forgetful, the opportunity can be lost. If you are making mistakes here, forgetting anything here, you may have the chances to lose the job. Do remember to use the correct traditional layout. Your layout must be formal and traditional. Do follow established commercial or academic formats. Do follow academic formats while writing a job application letter. Do frame your text between an appropriate greeting and a traditional salutation. Do mention greeting and salutation. Do check that the date on your job application letter is the same as the date you put it in the mail. Okay, you have to mention the same date in the mail and all the applications. Don't. What are the things you do not need to do? Don't neglect the significant steps of editing, checking, correctly drafting, and proofreading your application letter. Always do that. Do not use a casual style. Casual style letters to apply for a position or farmer. Don't include details unless they are connected to the core objective for sending the job application letter. Don't use hackneyed phrases, cliches, or other languages that could portray a language weakness. Fine. Make sure your turn of phrase is precise. Don't ignore the fact that punctuation, syntax, grammar, and word choice affect meaning. Use these things correctly. Fine. The whole package must be impress any recruiter or prospective employer with your language skills and talents. You have to impress them. Don't use all caps in any instance or too many italics. Fine. Common mistakes which are made by the people while writing a job application, the applicants: omitting the request and interview. Don't omit the request and interview. Fine. Do this in the last paragraph and be firm and clear. Do request for the interview. Please call me for interview. I'll be grateful for that. Being demanding or rude is also a mistake. Yes, demanding or rude is also a mistake. Long, wide, and paragraphs. Don't write long paragraphs. Using a disparate tone. Don't do that. Text that does not match the occasion and the establishment you approach. Yes. Remember that a well-mannered message is always most effective. A well-mannered message is always most effective. Stray from convention and place paragraphs, addresses, or salutation in the wrong place. Incorrectly space paragraphs or a job application letter with more than two paper force. Insufficient clarity about the position for which you are applying. These are the mistakes which people make while writing a job application. In addition, people often do not state their qualification for it or ask to speak personally with the person in charge. You do not need to do all these things. You have to avoid all these common mistakes while writing your job letter or job application while applying for a job.